All right, well, welcome back and thanks for tuning in again. If you're new to this channel, thanks for stopping in, and I hope you like what you see. This is going to be a little bit of a different video from what I typically do here, but I think it's relevant in a way to myself, certainly, and to other people that come across this type of channel and people that are in a similar industry as to what I do. For those of you that don't know, I work on standby generators for a living. So emergency standby units, commercial industrial grade stuff, typically found in commercial office buildings, schools, municipalities, hospitals, anywhere where life safety is critical, where the power can't go out or it can't be out for more than a few seconds. That's kind of what I do for a living. So I thought I'd do a little kind of review of an actual, like a tool bag. This is a backpack. It's made by CLC. It's called the E-Charge. And I want to do this video because this is the bag that I carry around. And when I say carry around, most of the gen sets that I work on are not something you can park next to. They're located up on the roof of a tall building, in the basement, or they're in the middle of the city, and you've got to park sometimes blocks away from where the actual equipment is located. So you really need something that you can grab out of your truck and walk easily to the generator, maybe climb up a ladder, maybe take a lot of stairs. It could be a mile worth of walking by the time you get to the piece that you need to work on. So you really need something you can throw over your shoulder or throw on your back and go at least assess the generator. If there's an issue, if you're out there for a service call, you want to have the tools you need to at least get an idea of what the problem is. That way, if you got to get more tools, you can go back to your truck and you know exactly what you need. So let me take you off the tripod and let's take a close look here. So I think this is a unique opportunity for anybody that is interested in buying like a backpack style tool bag. Now, for years, I had your typical throw it over your shoulder type bag. Never really had a tool belt or anything. It just doesn't really suit this industry, I think. But if you work in the city at all, sorry, if you do generator work, elevators, anything more on the technical side, if you do like fire alarm systems, security systems, I think I would recommend you go with some kind of backpack style bag rather than a kind of throw it over your shoulder, and certainly not a hard box, not like a plastic or metal toolbox or anything like that. I would definitely recommend going with a tool like a backpack style. So here's the bag that I've been using. This is 3 years old now. It's the CLC E-Charge. Now this is it was fairly expensive, and it kind of is. It's probably about $150. You could probably get it on sale for a bit cheaper. And initially I kind of thought this was a bit of a gimmicky kind of tool bag, and we'll go into that in a few minutes. But it was actually given to me as a Christmas present by my wife, and I was very grateful for that. And I recently said to her, this bag is getting kind of tired. It's 3 years old, it has some issues, but I like the bag overall. So she gave me an early Christmas present of a brand new one. The same model, same exact thing. So I think this is it's a nice way to compare, the brand new CLC E-Charge bag versus one that's been used pretty hard over the past 3 years. Like I said, I walk around Philadelphia with this thing, sometimes walking half a mile or a mile from where you were able to park to the actual piece of equipment you're working on. So let's take a close look at this thing, and we'll go into exactly what I carry with me on a day-to-day basis. So a couple of the issues I've had right off the bat with it: the zippers. The zippers are pretty much shot. They will spring open. Let's see, the rear pocket has lost its little handles. You can see this one's splitting here. And the zippers are probably my biggest gripe with it. Second is it slouches. So after a few years, you can see that the rear of the backpack, or the front rather, depends on which way you're looking at it, these areas here will kind of compress and allow the bag to slouch over. And I'll actually open this front pocket up, and you can see that it will actually want to tip forward. So other issues that I've had with it, I guess it's not really an issue, but it's a wear and tear thing. It's lost one of its little feet. It's got these 4 plastic feet that are supposed to support it. One of them came right off, but that happened only recently. But you can see the amount of wear and deterioration that's happened here. But like I said, this is 3 years of me grabbing it out of the back of the truck, throwing it on my back and walking, climbing upstairs, you know, leaving it on the ground, hooking a rope to the bag. If I got to go up a rung ladder to the roof, sometimes I got to pull this up with a rope. You know, it's definitely seen some rough use. And at the end of the day, it gets tossed right in the back of the truck, and I'm on my way home. So it's been out in the rain, in the snow, in the mud. It's been sitting. It's been out in the sun. You can see it's kind of faded and dirty. So it's had a lot of rough use. All right, I think I'm going to empty this out and just go through what I have. Well, you know what? Let's not empty it out. Let's just open it up. So I'll show you what I typically carry on me when I'm going to a call. So this is the back pocket. I got my clamp-on amp meter, my 379 Fluke digital multimeter, headset, generators are loud. I got a infrared temp gun. Definitely need something like that. Got a little magnet light here. That's really really handy. And in the back, got all my little things. So I got, this is for my tablet here, little stylus thing. I got a set of feeler gauges, paint marker. This one's gold for some reason. Usually it's either white or red. I don't know how a gold one got in there. Let's see. We got a little screwdriver here, little multiple tip screwdriver. A couple little different screwdrivers come in handy for different control applications. Definitely need a couple pens and some writing utensils. Smaller wrenches, another small wrench, 3/8, another little screwdriver, a little non-contact voltage sensor, a set of Allen keys, and a spare flashlight. So the one thing about this bag, which is the biggest selling point, I think, is the reason they call it the E-Charge. Turn this light on here. It's got I believe it's 15,000 milliamp hour USB battery bank. So this thing's, you can see it's all dirty, but that's had some usage. And it comes with that. It's got a little digital power indicator on the side of it. We'll turn it on the new one. It has a little extension cord here with some USB receptacles, and it powers this gooseneck light as well, which this is kind of like, I thought it was a gimmick, you know, kind of a goofy thing, but it's actually pretty bright. And it's really convenient, so that I found out that if you're someplace and it's dark, it's nice to be able to set your bag down and just turn that on and at least give you some general illumination. Even finding stuff in the bag in the middle of the night where it's dark is really, really handy. So I actually like that feature. And when this bag finally goes away, I'm going to take that power bank out and take this little gooseneck light and maybe put a magnet base on the bottom and use it, because it's quite bright, really. We'll have to turn the lights off and get a better shot at that. So that's the back of the bag. Oh, got this pocket here, my tablet, and usually a manual of some kind. Here's an old ASCO manual. Oh, sorry about that. Let's swing it around here. So in these back two pockets, let's see, we got terminals and things in here. Well, we got my keys, my generator keys. A lot of different enclosure styles. You need pretty much a key for everything. Got some wire terminals, things like that in there. In here, what do we got? Looks like we got a test switch for an ASCO transfer switch. Looks like an ASCO relay, 24-volt relay. Some resistors and some wire nuts, terminating resistors for control systems and things like that. In the rear lower pocket, Got some tape, electrical tape, a little bit of tie wire, some zip ties, and just a couple pieces, offcuts of wire comes in handy. Oh, a lock for lockout, tagout, a couple more wire nuts, just some junk in there. In the rear large pocket, well, that's coming open too. See, this is my problem with the zippers. And I've had it happen where you're walking down the street and this thing opens up and it's quite embarrassing. So, let me move these out of the way. So here's the actual tool section. This is what I carry on me typically. So you got a rail of standard sockets, a rail of metric sockets, a couple different screwdrivers, channel locks. Actually, these are pretty rusty. I was working out in the rain last week, and I really got to clean everything off in here. Got your crimpers, regular pliers, wire strippers, side cutters, needle nose, another large Phillips screwdriver, a large flathead screwdriver. I got a set of wrenches here from, well, 5/16 up to 3/4. The smaller ones are in the back, but this is usually 1/2 inch up to 3/4 I keep up here. My 3/8 ratchet, got a long extension there. I got a short extension down there somewhere. A couple other sockets. Your inspection mirror, need one of those. A small file. This is just an awl, just a punch. Another screwdriver, magnet right there. Need that. And I got a larger file here. Utility knife and a little scraper knife down here, in case you got to scrape paint off or something. So that's pretty much what I carry. That is enough for me to at least get to a generator that's not running or whatever might be wrong with it, and at least make an assessment and determine what I'm going to need to actually repair it. But can you see the slouch thing, the slouch effect that I'm talking about? Once you open this rear pocket, if this wasn't closed, or if this was closed, the thing would just want to lean right over. You can really see how it probably should have been better supported in this area. So we're going to see if we can address that in the on the new bag. But let's take a look at that new one. Okay, let's take a look at the new bag. So I pulled the power bank out of the side here. That's what that looks like. Here's the specs on it. 15,000 milliamp hour. I don't really know much about power banks, but that sounds pretty good to me. You hit the button on the side, it tells you the remaining percentage. That's the receptacles on it, and it comes with a little, 5-volt power cube thing to charge it back up. But yeah, that's what it looks like when it's new and fresh, not all stretched out. Same light. Actually, that doesn't work because it's not plugged in right now. But yeah. So I think what I want to do here, right off the bat, before I even take this thing out on the road, is make a little gusset of some kind. Maybe, I know I have a piece of stainless steel, fairly thick, maybe, I don't know, a little less than, maybe 14 gauge or 16 gauge stainless, and make almost like a little L bracket with a large radius bend here. I don't know how I'm going to secure it to the bag, but maybe that'll keep this area here from bowing out, and hopefully that'll preserve the life of the zippers, because I think that's what did this zipper in particular in, is me trying to zip it up while the actual teeth of the zipper were misaligned. So let me get to making those brackets and we'll come back and see how that looks. Okay, so I've completed my little modification to the new bag here. I opted to go with pop rivets to hold the piece of stainless steel in place. So we got 3 down the one side, 4 across the bottom, and then 3 on the other side. Now, some people might have something to say about the pop rivets, but I think it gives it a bit more finished look. And when I did drill through the bag, there is a sheet of plastic in this area to kind of reinforce this gusset, I guess you could call it, to kind of prevent that slouch, which the old bag is doing exactly that right now. So That's the slouch that I'm talking about. Trying to get rid of this here, because it's very inclined to just kind of lay over. But of course there's a lot of weight in there. So let's take a look at the modification, and then speaking of weight, I got a little scale here. We'll weigh the bag empty. So here's the plate on the inside. Just a 1-inch wide piece of stainless steel. I believe that's 14 gauge. So we'll see how that does. I hope I didn't compromise the structure of the bag by putting those holes in it, but the pop rivet's bared down with a lot of pressure, so I don't think it's going to do any damage to the structure. Hopefully it'll improve it. So let's zip that back up. Oh, you know what? One more modification that I would recommend CLC make. I'm not going to do this myself, but there's a lot of strain on this zipper right here, and that may be why this one is failing on the other bag. I don't know if I'm overloading it, but it would be nice if there was a buckle of some sort from the back pad here to the top of the bag itself. Something similar to what they have on the front, one of these things. So just something you could adjust and buckle up so that when you're picking it up and you're walking with it and it's bouncing around, it takes the strain off of this zipper. Allows the buckle to kind of keep it together. So let's weigh the empty bag. See what we got here. Try to get it centered. So 7 pounds, 12 ounces, almost 8 pounds unloaded. But that's with the little power supply, a little power bank, and the light and everything. So let me get it fully loaded and we'll reweigh it. All right, so I got all the lights out in the garage, but we do have some windows, so there's a little bit of ambient light in here. But I thought we'd take a look and just see what kind of performance this little light here gives us. Can you see what I'm doing here? So it's got 2 brightnesses, or 2 settings. That's high and then that's low. Let's turn it back on to high. Turn the camera light off. So you can see that, you can see if I was pointing in the right direction. It's quite bright. I think the tag says it's 200 lumens. It's certainly enough to, sorry, I gotta follow the beam here. It's certainly enough to light up the area in which you're working. It's a spotlight. It doesn't have a flood mode or anything like that, but, and two, just to see what's in your bag if you're digging around in the dark. It's pretty handy. So, all right, let's get back to the video. Okay, I know some of you are thinking to yourselves, why would you buy something that you know you have to modify right out of the gate? Well, I understand that, you know, manufacturers have to build things to a price point. So pretty much anything you buy nowadays, there's going to be corners cut, and it's expensive and difficult to get something that's perfect. This, for what it is and what I've put it through, I'm satisfied with it. I don't mind making that modification. All right, let's get back to it. Okay, well, we got the bag fully loaded up. You step around here, you can see it's really, that's its full profile there. And I forgot to mention, these are the tools that I just keep on my person pretty much at all times when I'm out in the field. The old 8-inch adjustable flashlight, and this is an 11-in-1 Klein screwdriver and a pen. So with those, you'd be surprised how much you can do with that. Just as far as getting around, sometimes you have to be a little creative. So let's put this back up on the scale and see what the full weight comes out to. So we're zeroed out. It's like 33 pounds, 5 ounces. So that's what? 25 and some change, 25.5 pounds worth of stuff. Total 33.5 ounces. Okay. So I don't know. That I don't know, we'll have to see how that holds up. So I guess we'll we'll pick this bag back up in three years. I imagine it'll make it that long, and we'll see how that modification held up. So I hope some people found this a little bit helpful or interesting if you're thinking about buying one of these. You know, I can recommend it. You know, if you're gonna have some lighter weight materials in there, it'll definitely last you. I mean, the one I had lasted 3 years walking around the city with 25 pounds of stuff in it. So well, thanks for watching. Leave any comments down below with any suggestions or what you use for a tool bag.